Yo, 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 yo. What's good? What's good? As you know, it is Upcore Vision bringing you another episode. We got the great one, Donnie Tsunami. What's going on, Tsunami?
What's good? What's good?
And we got the OG, triple OG Money Dame. Dame, what's good?
Good.
Okay, and it's me, your boy F. Woods. We here, Upcore Vision, bringing you another episode tonight. So let's get right into it. First topic. With all the additions that the Tampa Bay Bucks have made this offseason, are they the team to beat in the NFC? Tsunami, it's on you.
I'm gonna just say this before I answer the topic. I'm a huge Peyton Manning fan, and saying that, to anywhere Tom Brady go, he kind of the team to beat. Like, you feel me? Until he showed me otherwise. I mean, right now, anywhere he goes, he's the team to beat, man. The dude takes excellent care of his body. He hasn't shown me any signs of slowing down, maybe slight, but nothing dramatic for me to say that Tom Brady is slowed down. I'm interested to see how Gronk is gonna adjust, because I seen a picture and he lost a ton of weight. I'm not sure if he gained any of that back in preparation for the season. So I'm really interested to see how Gronk mesh and fit into that scheme and systems. But yeah, outside of New Orleans, I don't really see anybody in the NFC South that could dethrone Tom Brady, man. So yeah, I think they're the team to beat over there.
Money Dame.
It's going to be competitive over there, but I'm not going to say they're the team to beat. The Saints are always going to be the team to beat. The Saints are always there every year. They've been knocking on the door the last 2 to 3 years strong. And this is the perfect opportunity for us to see that Drew Brees and Tom Brady that we've always wanted to see. They're in conference right now. So I truly believe that I don't know. I wouldn't say they're the team to beat. The Saints are the team to beat right now.
So the Saints are the team to beat in the NFC?
Yeah. Not the Bucks.
So I don't think that Tampa Bay is the team to beat in the NFC. Like, in their own division, like y'all both just stated, they got to deal with the Saints, who won the division. They was 13-3 last year. Like, they the top dogs in that division until somebody beat them. Like, in my opinion. So no matter what they got going on over there in Tampa Bay, like, they're going to have to come out and prove it on the field of play. Like, they have to beat the team who's been winning the division. And I feel like the best team in that division, in the NFC South particularly, is the Saints. But I'm not sure that if you look at the whole NFC in total, like, there's still other teams that they're going to have to get through. You know what I mean? They still got to deal with San Francisco. They might have to deal with Seattle. Like, I'm not just going to sit here and say that Tampa Bay will be even – they made some big upgrades over there. You know what I mean? I really do like Todd Bowles and that defense. I mean, that's probably my favorite part of the team. It's really not even Tom Brady. And the defense is my favorite part of the team. Like, I feel like that defense is good, and I feel like they're only going to get better. You know what I mean? And I think Tom Brady's he's going to benefit from a really good defense. He benefited from a good defense in New England when he was there. You know what I mean? So that same thing is going to apply. Like, there's a reason he picked Tampa, and I'm pretty sure one of the reasons he went there is because he saw how well that defense was playing towards the second half of that season. Like, you want to be able to be on a team where you know you're going to get the ball back. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I definitely like that aspect of the team. But I just feel like until they get out there and prove it on the field, I'm not just going to say that they the team to beat just because they got Tom Brady. Like, we already know Tom Brady's resume. We know what he do. But there's some other teams in the NFC who've been doing it. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to run into one of those teams. They're gonna have to beat them for me. Like, so I still like, even though San Francisco represented the NFC in the Super Bowl last year, I still feel like the Saints is the top dogs in the NFC. Money Dane?
I just want to make my point absolutely clear. I don't think that Tampa Bay is the team to beat, or that they have things sewn up. They definitely don't. But they got something over there. And let's be clear, with the people that they have, it's gonna be real competitive over there. Jameis 30 for 30 touchdowns, 37 interceptions. Like, they win a lot of games, and they could have won a lot of games this year. Defensively, they were a very good team. Caused a lot of turnovers. If you look at the turnover differential within the last couple of years, there's a real good team over there, but you got to see how quickly they're going to mesh. You know what I mean? The Saints, they've meshed. They've been at the doorstep. So, you know, I'm not going to count Tampa Bay out, but, you know, there's other things out there.
Yeah, let's move on to the next question. All right, so yesterday, you know, we was talking a lot about the West and that AFC. But have we overlooked the Suns as the team that could capture that eighth seed in the West? So now, it's on you.
No, I don't believe we overlooked the Suns. What I believe is happening is we are actually witnessing what the quality of basketball would look like if the NBA players would shut the world off and focused on just basketball, okay? So they have no choice but to focus on ball. So we getting the highest quality of basketball that we're going to get in probably, I don't know how long, until players decide that money isn't that big a deal and winning is more important. Well, all the players, because some players do feel that way. Anyway, back to my point. With that being said, we seeing what the Suns could be, right? But I don't think they have anything for like the teams that's above them, for like the Portlands. I don't. Yesterday when we were speaking about it, you kind of convinced me that, and just like really thinking about it and looking at it, I really think Portland gonna take that eighth spot, man. They just got something going on over there. And the way the Lakers is looking, I don't know if they would have seen Portland in that first round either. So I don't really think we overlook Phoenix. I think they really look good because of how much they being forced to focus. I think this is the last thing I'm gonna say. I think this is a good thing for their program though, and as a team, because they see how they can play. If they focus, so hopefully that carries to the next year, and we might see like a really, really good Phoenix team.
Money Dane, what you think?
All right, so when we look at everything, the Suns played 2 good games. Within their remaining schedule, there's a possibility they won't win anything.
Who they got left?
They got the Heat on Saturday night. They got the Thunder on Monday night. They got the 76ers on Tuesday, and they got the Mavericks on Thursday. They could easily go 2-5 in those next games. Easily.
Yeah,
easily. You know what I mean? And even if they went 1-4, that's not going to get them to the promised land at this point. I mean, I think they have a good team going into the future, but as of right now, it's about Portland.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, from yesterday's episode, y'all know how I feel about Portland. Like, you know what I mean? I definitely think they ain't making the playoffs. But I will say this. I feel like I overlooked the Suns as, you know, how good they can be, period. Like, Devin Booker's definitely a problem. Like his development since he's been on that team, like every year he's consistently gotten better and better and better. You know what I mean? And then Ayton is not playing right now like that number one overall pick, but he's showing signs of what he can do. Like you see him with the rim protection. He still needs to get better defensively, but you see him hitting open shots. He attacks the rim. Like I like where his progression is going. Like they got something with that young nucleus. They problem is going to be, can they keep it together? Like I think if they, even with that remaining schedule, let's say they win 2 out of those last 4 games, this would have been a good bubble experience, even if they don't make it. Like this would have been good for the team, like because they're showing that they could beat good teams. And really, like if you don't make the playoffs, that's what you want to see. And in this environment, I don't think teams are out here resting. Like everybody out here playing hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when they win in these games, like it's legit. You know what I mean? So like when you see that, you have something to hold on to for their future. Like, you know what I mean? They got something nice going on over there. But is the organization going to be able to keep them? And then are they going to be able to put the right pieces in place around those 2 guys? You know what I mean? To make sure that the team functions the way it should, for them to have aspirations of being a playoff team and one day being a championship team. You know what I mean? But I could honestly say I definitely overlooked them. Like I really haven't been paying that much attention to them. Like I had to go back and do my homework. Like I've been paying attention to Devin Booker, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like I could say that I definitely overlooked them, but I still don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. Like that's going to Portland, hands down. Especially the Spurs just lost today.
Ain't no over.
Like I don't see how any other team is going to get that 8th spot against Portland. And whoever they play in the playing game, they're going to beat. I don't care who they play. If it even comes down to that. Like, all right, next topic. So Amari Cooper came out today, had some pretty interesting comments. You know what I mean? Him and Michael Gallup, both 1,000-yard receivers. And he feels like this year, Dallas could have 3,000-yard receivers. But is having 3,000-yard receivers best for the Cowboys offense this upcoming season? Money Dame, it's on you.
Absolutely. If they can find a way for it to work, for them to get 3 receivers to have 1,000 yards, and then make sure Zeke have close to 2,000, that's the makers of a championship team. The only thing that I would say they would have to do is their offense will have to be way more up-tempo. So they have to push out more plays. You know, they might have to go like a run and shoot type style where Dak is calling plays from the line of scrimmage.
Calling his own plays.
What's that?
You want him to call his own plays?
You may. I mean, at the end of the day, once you get up to the line of scrimmage, he's hearing whatever he's hearing from the coaches. He gets a certain amount of time to hear that before they cut the microphone off to his ears. From there, he gotta read everything himself. But I mean, from his preparation and everything, he should be good. But to answer the question, absolutely. If they can have 3,000-yard receivers, I see them doing big things. Zeke is going to do what he got to do. But at the end of the day, you got to spread the wealth. The running game got to be what opens up the passing game. You won't be able to stop them. You won't be able to stop Dallas. They can do that.
All right, so you know what I mean? I kind of feel like this. I feel like the most effective way to run the offense is if it runs through Zeke and not Dak. Like, I don't think Dak should be the focal point. If you have 3,000-yard receivers, that means Dak going to be tossing the rock around a lot. And I think that takes away from the strength of the team. Like, you have they don't have the top-notch offensive line like they have, but their offensive line is still good, and you have Zeke there. Like, I feel like their best bet is having that threat, having the offense run through Zeke, and then Dak could get off on the play action. Like, he'll still be able to utilize all of those weapons. Like, he'll still be able to utilize all the receivers he have. I just don't think that all of them being 1,000-yard receivers is what's best for the team, because then I think that takes away from Zeke's carries. Like, so Todd Archer at ESPN, he was talking to Amari, and Amari said that him and Dak have been working out with the receivers and the tight ends and the running backs, and they've been consistently working out for the past month. Dak got like a mock quarter field in his backyard that they all been going to, and they've been working on route running and the offense and timing and different things like that. It's kind of been like mini camps and OTAs. I think that's good for them. You know what I mean? That's the camaraderie they're working with each other, like they still working on the things they need to work to, so the offense can run smoothly, especially during this time with the COVID and everything. Like they utilize this time well. But I just don't see how them becoming a predominantly passing team, because I feel like if you have 3,000-yard receivers, you become a predominantly passing team. Like, I just feel like Dak, I just don't want Dak making majority of the decisions. Like, I think that you still got to start it off with the man you gave the most money to. There's a reason why you paid that man. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the offense runs better when it goes through Zeke and not Dak. I mean, every good team they played last year, they lost. And Dak played a huge role in that. Like, when they played Philly, he played terrible, and they needed to win that game to get in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I would still run the offense through Zeke. Tsunami, what you think?
No, I gotta agree with you. And another thing about the NFL, right, is a what have you done for me lately kind of league. And bringing 3,000-yard receivers could be very fruitful if they could check their egos at the door, which can be pretty hard when you gotta play for your money pretty much every down in football. So I mean, it could work, but like you said, in doing that, they will be taking the ball out of their best player hands, which is Zeke. And are they gonna ever pay Dak? I said Zach, my bad. Are they ever gonna pay Dak? Because I feel like that will also play a big role in it. Because you don't want no disgruntled guy out there running the team. You don't want your leader being upset and not really wanting to go out there and just running through the motions every game. Because regardless of who's out there, it ain't gonna work if the ball don't get there. You feel me? Or if he's just not making the proper decisions because his head ain't on straight. So they probably want to pay that man first and then worry about the receivers and all that stuff later. You know what
I mean, I think their receiving core is a group that I don't think they worrying about. I think they selfless. Like, Amari is kind of that guy. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily sure egos will be an issue. But what you think, Dan?
Still
I just want to be clear. At the end of the day, I agree with both of you guys said. I never said anything about, or I was never alluding to anything about taking the ball out of Zeke's hand. The passing game always gets opened up by the running game. Once the defense starts putting 8 men in the box and trying to stop the running game, that's when you pass the ball. It's a chess game. You're going back and forth. So depending on what happens, and Dak wouldn't be running the offense and calling his own plays. But at the same time, he may be calling checks to a play. When plays come in to the huddle, you may have an alert to that play. So you call an initial play, but there's an alert to that play. And sometimes you might hear them on the screen say, alert, alert. They're checking to the next play because of what they see out there on the field. And that's the quarterback's job, to see what's on the field, see where everybody's lined up, and kind of say, okay, can we run this play? All right, we can't run this play. All right, we got to check to this play. There's certain plays you can't run against certain defenses. That's just how it goes. But you have to know. The player has to know. So my thing is, if Dallas, under their offensive coordinator, are running more plays, if you run more plays, you get more touches. Everybody gets touches. So it may be a run play, it might be a pass play. But if we're getting multiple plays, you got to look back to like the Rams when they had Kurt Warner, the greatest show on turf.
Turf.
Exactly, with Marshall Faulk and them. They running plays. Everybody can eat. But if you're going back to the huddle every time, that's time off the clock. You got to run plays. You know what I mean? So if Dallas can run plays, they can if they already had 2,000-yard receivers, think about what they can have if they maximize the time that they've lost. And that goes down to analytics and checking times and all that kind of stuff. But if you gather all that time together, think about the amount of plays they can run that's exceeding that amount. You know what I mean? So you got to watch out.
I
If they
think
can get it together, it's going to be all right.
Nah, definitely. I just like, and in situations like that, like you was talking about, Dame, like they're the way they call plays and run their 2-minute warning, 2-minute offense got to be better. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. I feel like it's what's going to help the offense. You know what I mean? Like all of that, the play calling. I felt like the play calling last year hurt them at times.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So,
but I also think
blame
that probably goes. That was Kellen Moore's first year as an offensive coordinator too. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna tell you something firsthand, right? If you ever thought that Kellen Moore was calling the majority of those plays, he called some of them, but I bet you Jason Garrett had a hand in that, and over the top of that, Jerry Jones had a hand in that. You gotta best believe that. Kellen Moore, at the end of the day, Jason Garrett, that was his last year. Either it was going to make them or break them, right? And you're going to tell me he was exactly. So hold on. So you think he put that in Kellen Moore's hands, a first-year offensive coordinator? He put that in his hands to call all them plays? He had his hand in it. Just like when Amari Cooper wasn't in the game on a crucial, I don't know if it was 3rd down or 4th down. How is he off the field?
But I think he was hurt too, though. Like, wasn't he? He was coming. Wasn't he hurt?
Even if he was hurt, you know what you do? You call a timeout, especially if you have one, because he got to be on the field.
I hear you. All right. Which team or player has surprised you the most since the NBA has resumed the season on the Disney campus? Tsunami.
Without a doubt, it got to be T.J. Warren from the Indiana Pacers, man. Like, the dude is killing. He flat out balling. I did not expect this man to come into the bubble. First of all, I know T.J. Warren name, but I didn't think he could give it up the way he been giving it up. The dude got challenged. I forget who challenged him, so I'm not going to say
it. Was Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler go. He like running his mouth. He like challenging people. He challenged T.J. Warren. Clearly, T.J. Warren is up to the challenge, and that really helps Victor Oladipo come back into it and just, slowly take his time and get comfortable. And Indiana going to be a scary team when it comes time for the playoffs, man. But watch out for them, especially if T.J. Warren keep playing like he's playing. But that go back to my point, what I made about Phoenix, with the people being able to accomplish more and be more productive because they have nothing else to do besides focus on basketball. Obviously, they got like golf and stuff going on with the resort, but the main focus is on basketball because their family's not there, all the women and all the other crazy stuff is not there. So their production is going up, and the proof is in the pudding. So the bubble might be here to stay. You never know. They might keep it like this.
It's like he's shooting, like when you practicing, you know what I mean? You're shooting in an empty gym. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the mentality that they be trying to give you when you at the line, you hear all that noise. You know what I mean? You in the arena, you shoot, you know what I mean? Shoot like you in the empty gym. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of that too. Tsunami, I definitely see a lot of that. But there, T.J. Warren been balling out though. Money Dame, what you think?
What team? It depends on if y'all knew. It depends on if y'all knew who T.J. Warren was before all this. besides the Jimmy Butler thing.
Nah, NC State,
If
he
you
was a
check
dog.
I know T.J. Warren.
Now I'm talking about check his stats when he was on the Phoenix Suns last year and the year before. T.J. Warren was putting up buckets. You know why I know? Because I play FanDuel and I see the stats. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like when Jimmy Butler was doing what he was doing to him, it was a little funny, but that's another story. But like I like what Devin Booker's been doing, and he's been doing it already. But like when you're on a team that's not winning, you don't get the looks you're supposed to get as far as publicity wise and everything like that. But what Devin Booker is doing right now and what he's been doing, but when you bring it to a stage like this, because everybody's watching right now, there's been no basketball.
All eyes on basketball.
Every year, and this brings back my point. I think I might have said it last night. Like, it might be a team that we don't think is going to win it that might win it because it's just the situation that you're in. You know what I mean? Being in this bubble and being away from your element, where now it's just like it's whatever. It's like you going out on the court and playing in your hood, like it's whatever, or going to somebody else's hood and playing, it's whatever. Anything can happen. And this is the best opportunity for anything to happen. So don't be surprised if it's a team that's not supposed to win. But like Devin Booker, he's been doing it. That's my guy.
Definitely. Those are definitely two good candidates. So I'm also going to go with a player as a person who surprised me since we resumed the season. So far in 3 games, the Nuggets are 2-1. In their win against OKC, my man dropped 37 and 12 boards. Today, in their win against the Spurs, he dropped 30 and grabbed 15 boards. I mean, this guy, Michael Porter Jr., he's starting to show some of the potential that had him rated as the number 1 prospect in his draft class before the back injury. Like, before the back injury, he was that thing. He was that guy. Like, he was the number 1 player in his class. He was the number 1 pick. He was that dude. Then he got the back injury. Then it was kind of like, that back injury was significant enough where people kind of wrote him off. Yeah. Now, I mean, he didn't play his first year in the league. He had to recover. And now, like, you starting to see what he could do. Now, am I asking him to go out there and drop 30 plus every night? No, that's not what I'm asking. But if he could continue to contribute in a consistent basis that he has been contributing for Denver, he could be that missing piece that everybody's talking about is missing in Denver. They already have it. He's already there. Like, if he could continue, if he stays healthy and he could continue to contribute, like, I feel like he's like Michael Porter Jr. he could be a reason why they turned from a good team to a serious title contender, because they got a lot of good pieces over there.
Yeah, they do.
And he could be that third option that they need with Jamal Murray and Jokic. Like, he could be that third option. You know what I mean? Like, my man, like the great Clint Smith in Coming to America said, that boy good. Well, yeah, that would be my surprise player. You know what I mean? I definitely and I just respect the grind, having to sit out your first year. Like, you know what I mean? You know he loved this. You know what I mean? He ain't quit. He could have quit. Like, he could have been like, yo, it's too much. Like, you know what I mean? He doing it. And he doing it at the right time, too. Like y'all been saying, we in the bubble. Like, he's doing it when the spotlight is on you. Because everybody's watching ball.
Yeah, it ain't nothing else to watch.
Everybody that mess with sports, you sitting on your couch all day watching basketball right now. That's what you doing.
Or baseball or soccer. There's only 3 sports you could be choosing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you watching the NBA right now. And these guys that we've been talking about, T.J. Warren, Michael Porter Jr., Devin Booker, they putting on right now. You know what I mean? So definitely, props to all of those guys, man.
That's the next generation.
Word, though. All right. So we're going to get out of here on this one. So after UConn has announced that they will suspend the football season, do you see any Power 5 conference schools following in their footsteps? Tsunami, it's on you.
Oh, it's on me.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I mean, with the way that the MLB is going, I could see more than just the Power 5 conference shutting down. I could see the whole NCAA shutting down. And it probably won't happen as drastically as UConn did it. But as they start progressing and playing, as the Pac-12 start playing and they start making the same mistakes the MLB is mistaken, which is allowing people to just go about their life and then come back and play. And these is college kids. They're not going to use the same amount of resources on college kids as they use on professional athletes. So I doubt they're going to test them as frequently as they would test a professional athlete, which will leave the door open for people, for them young kids to get exposed or for them to make a big dollar. And when that happens, sadly, that's probably what it's going to have to take for them to realize that it's not worth doing it the way they're trying to do it and shutting it down. So I guess to answer your question, I could say, yeah, I could see all of them following suit after a game, a few games when stuff start hitting the fan, and more conferences following after that one, to be honest.
Money Dame, what you think?
I don't know. This whole thing is bigger than that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of kids are starting to opt out and say they're not playing, and especially because they're supposed to be getting paid. So now that you throw that in there, because the NCAA done said they're supposed to be paying college players. Now they're trying to get everything going. Certain players are not coming back. You know, so I see a lot more teams opting to not play, or a lot more players opting not to play. And if the players don't play, then the teams don't play. So that's really going to happen. I really feel like that's what's going to happen right now. So as Connecticut goes, a lot more teams will go as the next couple of weeks go, because training camp is supposed to start within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. So this is something that we need to pay close attention to and watch how this unfolds.
Yeah, I think like a lot of the Power 5 conferences, like somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of like the schedules, they playing like the teams in the conference. Like, you know what I mean? They not, I think one conference has all conference games, one non-conference home game or something like that. You know what I mean? But I don't feel as though, I mean, honestly, like, the way UConn did it, you know what I mean? Like, the players had a big voice in the decision that was made. Like, if the players don't feel comfortable playing, it makes no sense to play. I mean, UConn is in a little different situation because they was going to be playing an independent schedule this year. So it wasn't like they was depending on a conference or a conference was depending on them to play. So, you know what I mean? Their situation was a little different. But if you really care about the kids, like you say you do, like these kids you gave scholarships to, like you really care about them, you know that it's in the best interest of them not to play. And you know that what's driving this thing is the bread, is the bag. That's what's driving this thing. You know what I mean? Like, you so worried about that you forgetting about the main piece, which is the kids. These are still, I don't care how old they are, I don't care if they're in college, these are still kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, when I was in college, I was 17, 18, I was still a kid though. You know what I mean? Kids are gonna make stupid decisions. They're not gonna follow all the protocols. No matter how much of that team camaraderie you pump in them, somebody gonna do something they're not supposed to do. That's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can't save people from themselves. People make bad choices sometimes. It happens in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really care about them, then you don't have a season. But if you want to make that bread as much as you can maximize it, which is the reason why y'all doing this anyway, why y'all even talking about this, is because y'all want the money. Like, it can't be about the money. Like, their health is their wealth. That's more important than the university making bread. Like, they shouldn't play, period. But you know how the NCAA go, and you know this is strictly about the money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is not nothing new. We know this already.
That's a fact.
What you think, Dan?
Nah, I'm just thinking, if it was so bad that because of Corona they shut down March Madness, which is like one of the largest money makers in this country, why would they be trying to go back to play anything else after this when in other states throughout this country is twisted? And like you guys said, it's about the money. Like, you got to think about it. They shut down the NBA. They shut down March Madness. All other major sports, they shut it down. Then all of a sudden, when everything is not 100% or even 85%, everybody's back to it again. It's the money.
Yeah.
But then I get it too, you know what I mean? How do the players get paid and everything? I don't know. It's crazy.
It is, but you know what I mean. I think like your morality got to be more important than the university making money. Like, you know what I mean. Connecticut, I don't even think they're not even in danger state. I think Connecticut is like one of the like better states dealing with Corona right now as far as like the virus and all of that goes. And UConn still decided to shut down. And they in a state where it's not as bad as Texas and Florida. You know what I mean?
They
So
got
if they still not, but I'm saying if UConn, they in a state where like they situation would be different. They would have had to travel a lot because they playing that independent schedule. You know what I mean? But if they in a state like they would have teams come to them, they probably might be able to take better care of their players if they on campus at UConn. Like that's what I'm getting. So they might be able to do that. But if they in one of the safer states, if they saying we not doing it, why in Texas and Florida would y'all even think about doing it? It don't make no sense. Like it don't make no sense.
The crazy thing is like the teams like Texas and Florida would have to fly into those states, and there's no fly zones right now. You can't come into certain states right now, especially on the East Coast. We're not taking nobody. There are no flights. That plays a big part in what's going on too.
Yeah, I just, you know what I mean, like Tsunami said, you know, they do it for the money, man, and it's not what's in the best interest for the young men. Or, you know what I mean, not football, I'm talking about all sports, for the young men and women that play collegiate sports.
Right.
Like it's not in their best interest. Like I know we focus on football because that was the question, but I'm talking about women athletes too. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not in the best interest of the young people to have the universities do this. They need to try to find a way they could keep on educating these kids. If that, you know, I let that be the primary focus, like, and not sports. But it is a business too, on the other hand, you know what I mean? Football brings in a lot of revenue. You know what I mean? It brings in a lot of money to these schools so they could do the things they do on the campuses. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just a bad situation all the way around. Anybody got final words tonight?
I hope everybody stays safe and healthy, man. That's my final words, man. Safe and healthy.
You already know.